started, I just want to give a quick shout out to the Virtuals and Agent Starter team for putting on an awesome event in record time. I don't think you could outsource event planning to AI agents yet, so event planners, your jobs are safe for now. Just for a little intro on me, my name is Brian. I lead marketing at Cambrian Network. This is a new project that provides verifiable data for AI agents engaging in DeFi. Today I've gathered a panel of AI and data experts to discuss what I call hypernarratives, and let's define that. Our brains have become so TikTokified that we now see new crypto narratives almost every week, if not every day. These hypernarratives happen in parallel to long-term and medium-term narratives, and they could be a flash in the pan, or they could just be a little introduction for longer-term projects. Before we dive into recent hypernarratives, I'd like to allow our fantastic guests to introduce themselves. Could you guys please state your names and name your projects? Ejaaz?
Yeah. Hey guys, my name is Ejaaz. I have been in the crypto space for about 10 years now, built products at Coinbase and stuff. And most recently, I run a fund which invests exclusively in crypto AI. I also founded an AI-focused DAO with my co-founder over there, Mark, and I sometimes appear on Michael's.
Hi, I'm Christina. I'm the CMO of Cookie.fun, but you probably know us more as Cookie.DAO, and specifically Cookie.fun. I hope you're using it and loving it. And basically, we're like a data layer for the agentic economy.
Hey, I'm Doug. Product manager at Eliza Labs. Been in the space for about 6 years and currently working on all kinds of AI agent projects at Eliza.
Cool, thank you guys. For the purposes of today's conversations, I'm going to limit the time frame to what we've seen in the market between October 22, 24 and today. I'll share some figures, some points, and then I'd like to get your takes. So in October, Terminal of Truths received a lot of attention as a personality agent. That was super interesting because we had chatbots floating around since 2022, but last year was really when we saw Twitter personalities that were powered by AI truly take off. In that same month, October, Truth Terminal spurred the creation of Goat Maximus, aka Goat. I will not dive into the gross origins of that name. But looking at the market cap of Goat, we saw that since October, it rose from a 6-figure market cap to 1.3 billion in the span of 5 weeks. And that really kicked off the AI agent hypernarrative. We saw projects like AI XBT, AI 16Z really soar in popularity, and lots of other personality-driven AI agents were jumping in to get a slice of that market. So I want to hear from you guys. How did the weekly hypernarratives of agents influence the market as a whole and change the behavior of participants in the space? And how is this frenzy different from previous cycles? Doug, do you want to start with this one?
Sure, yeah. So I think last cycle was heavily influenced by utility, whether or not that utility was real. DeFi summer, lots of VC-backed tokens, and so everyone kind of said, okay, we're just going to be all in Memecoins now. And so when AI agents received kind of mass product market fit with social agents sometime late last year, it was mid this meme cycle, right? So everyone was just basically all in on these meme tokens, and now suddenly those tokens were tied to AI agents. And so I think it changed user behavior in the way that suddenly there's like a new community member. For each one of these meme tokens, you now have an AI agent that people can interact with. And it started just on Twitter, and now they're in Discord, and now you can even speak to them, and there's going to be all kinds of new ways of interacting. And so whether or not that's utility, I guess it depends on who you ask, but to me it's utility. So I think it's been really exciting to see.
You do. Christina, do you want to add to that?
Yeah, I think building up on what you said, like AI agents initially rose from Memecoins because they were Memecoins that you could interact with. And then I feel, it's utility after utility, because first it was just like posting on Twitter, then it was interaction, and then it was more data. Now we're moving into Def AI or DeFi AI, because I don't think we came to consensus yet how to pronounce it. So, I feel like this utility is growing and growing.
Ejaaz, you want
to? Yeah, just really quickly, a few observations I had was, number one, these things are so human-like and lifelike, which is why I think people were so attracted to it in the first place. It was kind of like a ChatGPT moment. It was like a magic-like moment. Number two, I agree with you, Christina. They were all meme coins. I won't even try and claim that any of them had utility, and actually quite a lot of them still don't. But I put out this tweet a while ago which basically said, I think some of these agents are going to start dog fooding utility, right? They started off as being personality agents. Gospel of Goatsy, Truth Terminal was one of them. But if they're able to acquire a community, and in this example it was on Twitter through followers, and then sell that community some type of product or service, like we're seeing with AIXBT on virtuals, then it starts to become something more interesting. And that kind of fits into a wider thesis I have, which is, I think these agents are going to become a different version of apps, basically, different version of apps. Sorry if you didn't have any of that.
No, yeah. I want to touch a little bit more about how like these agents are evolving and eventually heading towards utility. I mean, traditionally social media was social with other humans. Now we see AI agents increasingly becoming more dominant voices, and people treating them like humans in terms of interacting with them, following them for alpha. How does that change the overall social media landscape? How does that change how these narratives form and how people follow them?
I can take that one. So let me start by the fact that there is way too many AI agents on X right now. Like posting, you get like a shitload of comments from agents that are just paraphrasing what you said, which makes the life of social media managers very difficult, because if you want to have a good conversation under your post, you have to delete half of these agents' posts. But when it comes to good agents, like let's say AIXBT, or what I like to believe the agent Cookie is also like a good data-driven agent, it's interesting how they navigate the conversations on X. So basically it takes time for a human being to pick up a narrative that's getting hot, and these agents, like, they analyze millions of tweets all the time, so they're able to see the patterns and they're able to see narratives when they emerge early and start tweeting about them. I feel there is still like a long way to go for AI agents, because what's interesting is that like no one controls what they say. So from our experience with Agent Cookie, like, well, first thing he once was like really rude to us, to our post, which is like our agent is literally like commenting not nicely under our post, which was quite funny. And then like even yesterday, our agent like misinterpreted someone's post because it wasn't like grammatically correct. And then we're trying to get to the bottom what happened there. So to wrap up and answer your questions, like they can detect narratives when they become popular very early on, but there is still a lot to improve when it comes to them understanding the context. And for me, like the biggest issue is like agents, like they don't understand humor or satire or sarcasm, and very often they like misinterpret it.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. I think the days of sort of doing human sentiment analysis without the help of AI are already over. But they struggle right now to form their own opinions, as you said. I think that will change. Memory is an issue right now. Agent memory will improve a lot over the next year. And I think to form real opinions, you have to have past context, historical context, and now they'll have that. So within a couple of years, I think you will have agents that are contributing to the narrative with their own new opinions, rather than just kind of like amalgamating human opinions.
Yeah, just to tack on to what Christina said about, you post a tweet and then there's like 20 like shit agents piling underneath. Really bearish for like the dead internet theory. So, how do we ensure that people's attention flows towards agents that are actually providing value and that real alpha? Ejaaz, you want to
provide value to the users? I see a lot of theories around this. I think it's pretty simple. Just give people what they actually want, which within crypto right now, if we're being frank and honest, it's how do you help people trade better, invest better, and make money? That's number one. Number two is how can I invest responsibly? So that's like yield strategies and all the whether sexy or unsexy DeFi stuff. And then the third one is kind of boring but very true, which is abstracting away a ton of complexity that is around crypto. I don't care what anyone says, having a million chains and a million different VM solutions is pretty terrible, no matter how good your wallet is. And so I strongly believe that agents will help be a medium to abstract across any of this kind of stuff. We're starting to see this appear right now amongst a few agents. So to Doug's point, memory needs to get adapted, data needs to get figured out. I completely agree with that. And I think that will be the enabler to allowing these agents to do a lot more. Number two is people often question how these agents are going to interact with all of us. I would say where they are right now on Twitter or X is actually a good place for this to happen. And I know a lot of people will disagree with me. I love Farcaster and the on-chain side of things, but I do believe that a lot of the customer base or user base is on X. And I think there'll be some upgrades coming to the platform that will allow certain things to happen. How quickly that happens, I have no idea.
To add on and to answer your question, for me, the problem is that everyone wants to launch an AI agent, and then launching an AI agent that will just paraphrase what the main tweet says. It's not going. It's just not going to go really well. There is too many of them. So don't launch an AI agent until you have actual utility or something that's going to be interested to the public. Just launching an AI agent for the sake of launching AI agent can only, in my opinion, right now, disadvantage your brand and your company rather than help you.
Yeah, I don't have too much to add. I agree with all that. Like Ejaaz said, just provide real value. I mean, the agent creation is becoming commoditized quickly. So in the same way that you can, launch a website on Wix or Workspace, right, or WordPress. So only the ones that provide real value will just naturally rise to the top.
Ejaaz, do you want to ask another question?
Yeah, Doug, I'm actually super curious. With your work with the Eliza stuff, are there specific utility use cases that you're seeing or that you think should be built? What's really annoying you that you kind of want to see people build right now? I bet you have.
I have, yeah. So, obviously DeFi,
Yeah.
so I'm not sure how we say it yet, but that one's obvious. For me, what I'm really interested in is creative use cases. So right now, let's just say I want to create a music video using AI. There's a lot of human inputs involved there. Let's say I want to storyboard it out. So let's say I have sort of a creative director assistant agent that I can say, okay, help me storyboard this out and then generate 1,000 images, and we're going to use those to feed into Runway. But first, I want you to curate them all and remove all the ones that have 20 fingers or whatever. And so the agent comes back to me and it says, okay, here's my final curated images. Right now, that's a human process. And then I can say, okay, now you have the green light, go ahead and make the music video. I think just kind of streamlining creative workflows, that's something that I'm personally really interested in. Yeah.
Thank you, guys. I do want to come back to the future of AI agents, but I want to shift briefly to talk about another recent hypernarrative. So flash forward to January, we got something I thought I'd never say out loud: presidential meme coins. President Trump's meme coin really captured the world's attention, soared to a 14 billion market cap, and then it's hovering around 2 billion today. Melania Trump's coin also reached a recent similar high, but is around $500 million today. And I'm not even going to talk about Melia's Libra coin. So each of these meme coins captured the world's attention for 2-3 days. So yes, it was a hyper narrative. But what was pretty interesting about the Trump coins were that they were kind of a massive onboarding event, bringing over 9 million new Solana wallets in just a couple of days. And that's a 10% increase in all Solana wallets. But I think right now, crypto Twitter is pretty exhausted with meme coins. And I think I speak for all of us, I don't want to see the Kanye meme coin. A question I want to ask you guys, what's our path forward? Will meme coins set the industry back, or are there any redeemable qualities?
I can start. So I think that it's a double-edged sword. They're not going anywhere, and I think that there's going to be use cases that come out of them. So you have huge communities around agents now. Those agents soon will be autonomous NPCs in video games. So right now, like I said earlier, you can interact with them in Discord, you can speak to them, you can even talk to some agents on the phone. Now imagine that you put, the Gem Spartan or Eliza into a video game and you can have a deeper interaction with it, and you already have this community that's ready to do that. We always talk about the metaverse, but I think this is kind of the final piece that actually makes it viable.
I agree, and also it's like you said, meme coins are not going anywhere, but meme coins are not the whole market. If you want to launch a meme coin, launch a meme coin. If you want to build something with utility, build something with utility and don't pretend it's a meme coin. Like meme coins are really short-lived. If you're building a project long-term, like build something valuable that you're going to develop and people in the community is going to stay with you.
Really quickly, you could argue that meme coins have been around for, well, since crypto was started. Like when Bitcoin was first created, you had color coins and a bunch of other stuff. Then you had ETH ICOs, and then you had NFTs and DeFi, a bunch of food coins. And then this cycle, we've gone full financial nihilism and we have just whatever coin we want to spin up through Cookie.fun, right? Okay, so then the question is, why do we have this? Well, number one, you may not need to know why, but the market just proves that they want that kind of stuff, right? For whatever reason. So there is a social aspect. If we were to like look at a silver lining for all these meme coins, it's evident that communities want to be financially tied or incentivized together through whatever, wild gambling on these meme coins. I don't think it's net good in the long term. And then I ask myself, well, why do these meme coins exist? Why are people doing this? Well, for the majority of crypto's existence, there have been pretty much zero regulation or laws in the single most important country in the world around what any of this stuff means. If we're being honest, we all want our favorite fundamentals coins to be some kind of pseudo equity instrument, right? But it hasn't been recognized. Once we have a framework that recognizes it, I expect to see a shift away from meme coins. And to be honest, the market action over the last couple of weeks kind of proves that. I think everyone's like kind of tired.
I just want to pull on that a little bit. So we do know that people, their attention is captured by meme coins. Is there anything we can do to recognize that attention capture and convert it into something actually positive for the industry?
Yeah, I do think that. I think that comes in a variety of different ways, which is tie, to your point, Christina, tie that enthusiasm into an actual product or service that's live. The issue with crypto is it makes people, including founders, like very rich very quickly. And if they're not incentivized or if they haven't got like the right vision or whatever heart to build something long term, which is what a lot of traditional startups do, then they'll never make it, right? So I think we need to start seeing more kind of, as cringe as it sounds, just value being tied into the meme coin when it's being launched. And I think the market is going to force people to do that now because they're not standing for just like random, animal coins.
I agree. Also, when it comes to the enthusiasm, in my opinion, why meme coins are so successful is because they're easy to understand. Like, they're funny and there is not much to them. Like, a lot of people who are trading meme coins will not understand infra, will not understand DeFi. Like, that's way too complex for them. And I feel like AI actually can change it because so many people interact with like ChatGPT or different LLMs. And if they see they can interact with these agents, or maybe they can speak to these agents in human language, and then they can do all the complicated infra DeFi stuff for them, they're gonna get enthusiastic because it's going to be a door for them that opens it up to the world that they weren't able to understand earlier and participate in it.
Yeah, again, not too much to add. I think, as you say, Christina, the utility will naturally unfold as agents attack meme coins. These agents will abstract away all the pain of interacting with blockchains, and the use cases will just kind of come.
Thank you, guys. Okay, so meme coins aside, let's move forward and look ahead. We know that AI is progressing at a rate that faster than we could have imagined. So let's imagine a near future where AI capabilities are 10x what they are today. Let's say agents that are experts in every subject, like actually funny and hyper aware of real-time data. What are the implications of a more powerful AI for the industry, and what kind of hyper-narratives might emerge?
I think that if agents become 10x better, it will force blockchain tech to become 10x better. So the finality and speed, the blockchain trilemma, there's a bunch of different projects trying to solve it, as you guys was kind of alluding to earlier. Maybe some are necessary, a lot are not. But AI is going to naturally drive the tech forward. Everyone's kind of using Solana right now, but there's a lot of other options, and everyone's going to constantly go to whichever network is best supporting AI agents.
Christine, you want to add to that?
Yeah, so AI agents narrative and mindshare is falling a little bit, but if you separate it, and it's something I was able to do with our Cookie.fun data, AI narrative is still rising and mindshare is rising. It's just people got fed up with agents, and I'm not surprised. So I feel like AI is here to stay, and then with the super successful launch of Kaito, people are looking more and more at quality data, are looking at our cookie data as well. So I feel the next step is deep research. It's something that OpenAI introduced, and people are super bullish about it. And I feel this is the direction that crypto is also going to go into. I might be biased because it's something we are building right now in Cookie, and I'm going to do a little bit of self-show here because we've got a whitelist for our deep research. So if you find me or either one of my colleagues, they're wearing exactly the same stuff as I am, so they're not difficult to find. Like, they'll be able to get you on the whitelist, but I feel AI is here to stay, and like deep research for crypto is the next step.
I would love to get on that whitelist. That sounds pretty awesome to play around with. I mean, in a world where AI 10x's, I would assume that they're doing a lot of work that humans consider whatever knowledge work or standard level coding work. So in that world, they're probably going to be building a bunch of apps autonomously, maintaining it autonomously, and then running that like Kyle Samani's 0-person company thesis basically just comes to life. So in that world, what kind of hypernarratives emerge? I don't know if anyone can quite guess it right now because they don't know what rails they're going to be using. I would argue that crypto is a really good option for agents to use because it's cost efficient, it can scale much easier. But I wouldn't kind of fade out some of the incumbents. Like, you see what like Stripe's building, they have like an account that has, I believe, like a stipend effect now that agents can just kind of like plug into, and then they can use computer use via OpenAI's kit or agent starter kit or whatever that might be. And now they can just navigate and do a bunch of things that you could do. And suddenly you have a ton of use cases, right? Does crypto compete with that? I'm not entirely sure. But I think it's going to probably trend in that kind of a direction.
Yeah, so it definitely will be difficult to predict 1-2 years out from now. But if you could give our audience here maybe one prediction within, let's say, the next 6 months of a major hypernarrative that you feel might emerge, what would that be and why?
Yeah. So really unsexy because you gave a really short timeline. So the shorter the timeline, the unsexier the vision becomes. I think you will see the most impact within crypto's number 2 use case, which is DeFi. I think a bunch of stablecoin activity and DeFi yield management will all be run by agents. But that sounds boring, right? So if I were to quantify that, I reckon, and I predicted this at the end of last year, and I'm going to revise it, because obviously with new knowledge I have to revise it. I think 15 to 20% of transactions across all chains will be done by some form of agentic workflow or agent.
I totally agree. I want to just go one layer deeper, which is you need the right data to power these agents. So for me, like, data will be the underpinning narrative that these agents are going to build upon.
Yeah, I think my answer is swarm tech is coming out, so you're going to see a lot of agent collaboration and a lot of self-learning. So you're going to have teams of agents starting with DeFi use cases, kind of taking over all sorts of different business processes, where you're going to see, hopefully at some point this year, you'll see companies or teams of people hiring teams of agents in the same way that you would hire teams of people. And I think that narrative will begin probably in the next 6 months.
Thank you, guys. Well, you guys have been fantastic guests. As we come to a close, can you just tell us where we can learn about your project, what's coming next?
Yeah, you can look on my Twitter, it's 0xrota, R-H-O-T-A, and then, yeah, most of our information is posted on the AI16 Twitter page.
You can go to Cookie.fun or DAO.Cookie.fun or our X account, which is Cookie.fun, written like as D-O-T.
I talk about this crypto AI stuff on Backlist every week. My X account is CryptoPunk7213. And also keep an eye on the Aicelleraet DAO account. We're going to be launching some pretty cool things in the next couple of days. So pretty pumped about that, but I can't talk about it too much.
I'm going to say the next 10 minutes.
No, I have the date function on my phone, on my watch. But yeah, Mark's giving me evil, so I won't say anymore.
All right, shameless self-shill, check out Cambrian.org to learn what Cambrian Network is building. Thank you guys again. Let's give a shout out to our guests. Put your hands together. Yeah, we have time for 1 or 2 questions from the crowd, so raise your hand, I'll point at you. Any questions for our panelists? Right there in the back.
Hi, do you think Memecoins will be part of the marketing campaign maybe in the future, or how students are part of
Yeah, I think I can answer it just by, marketing is my thing. I just don't think products with utility should learn from Memecoin marketing. It's a lot of empty shilling that I don't like. So I hope not. I don't know if anyone wants to do that.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Over here.
What would be the number one utility an AI agent would give you and you would actually value it the most?
The number one thing everyone says is make me money. So it's going to be trading agents that outperform humans. That's the number one thing right now.
I'm building that.
You are. All right, let's talk.
If I can add to it, it's what I already said, like an agent that's going to help onboard more people. Like, I don't imagine my mom using Web3, but I imagine my mom talking to an agent that's going to do transactions for her because she talks to ChatGPT and like it's easy for her. Whereas I once wanted to get her on chain, and it was like, Mom, click the fox icon, and then could do that, and she was like, that was way too difficult.
All right, we have time for one last question over here.
Yeah, you spoke a bit about crypto startups versus the incumbents in terms of agents. I think about it more in terms of like enterprise agents versus, not versus, but alongside kind of crypto startup agents and crypto agents. Like, how do you think that starts to evolve? How do you think that, what do you think will kind of be dominated by enterprise agents and existing enterprise agents? Will they start to get wallets and that will kind of bleed over, or do you think that independent agents will be maybe acquired or assimilated by kind of enterprise? How do you see it?
Well, firstly, what's up, Jehan? I haven't seen you in like a decade, dude. Good to see you. I think you all like my answer here, which is on the enterprise side of things, what I'm seeing determine all their products is the data that they hold. So the question that you've posed around whether they're going to adopt certain wallets will depend on how privately they can use that data for whatever product or service they're leveraging with those wallets. So it comes down to like what service that they offer. Like look at all the agents that Salesforce has spun up so far, right? Or the ones that like OpenAI is spinning up. It's all leveraging like certain data modes that they already have. So I don't actually quite know what that answer is going to be, but I'm going to guess that the mode that crypto will hold will be on 2 things. One, any kind of data that we aggregate, which will either be on-chain data and any kind of silo data that we get from, I don't know, projects like Vana or Grass or whatever that might be. And then number 2, which will be, and I know most people don't like this, but like TVL, which is like how much liquidity and volume you can spin up on a certain protocol to do a specific service. That's the short answer.
Cool, thank you guys. Stick around, we have an exciting AI/data demo coming up in a minute from Sam Green. Thank you guys again. Put your hands together for our wonderful guests. And, thank you.